Imagine living in a private penthouse right across from Buckingham Palace with views over Hyde Park, a huge balcony just minutes from the heart of London. Here's the truth, you don't need 10 properties to live this sort of lifestyle. One great commercial deal can completely fund it all. Today I'm breaking down this Brisbane warehouse that brings in 140,000 a year in passive income that makes this luxurious life possible. Most people think you need 10 plus properties to have any sort of financial freedom. But this deal, this one warehouse, with the right tenant in the right location, can bring in more than 10 properties combined. I'm James Hawthorne and I research commercial property deals to see what sort of lifestyle that actually can fund. And today I'm going to break down this one commercial property, show you the numbers and the strategy and how it can completely fund your financial freedom. So let's get into it. Now let's get into analysing the property that's going to fund our financial freedom. So I found this large warehouse in Queensland that sold for $7.9 million. So as you can see from the photos, it's a pretty big warehouse with a bigger one and a smaller one in the middle, and I think this is an office space. But you can see it's leased by a crane operating company. There's a lot of equipment being utilised. So using the floor space pretty good. They've got all their equipment on the actual land area. As you can see, one downside is there are a lot of other commercial properties in the actual area. There's not much residential at all, so a high supply of commercial property can affect the prices and the tenancy, can lead to higher vacancy rates as well. But as we can see, this property's got all the shelving, a lot of equipment in the warehouse. So the property's been fitted out by the tenant, and it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort to actually move all that equipment to another warehouse. So that's a good thing. They've fitted out the actual warehouse, which means they're probably going to stay there for longer. And as we can see, it's a pretty big warehouse, decent size. They've got all their equipment in the area as well on the property. Yeah, as you can see from here, the Brisbane CBD is not too far away, but there's a lot of commercial property in the area which affects the supply. So more supply, can affect the prices. More likely the tenant's going to go vacant and have a longer vacancy period. So you've got to keep that in mind when there is a big supply of commercial property in the area that you're buying. It's not far from the highway. It's a pretty decent size warehouse as well. Got a nice office space, kitchenette, everything that they would need. So it sold for $7.9 million, and it's 3-year lease, 6.25% rental yield. Low site coverage, 21% of the actual property is being utilised with the warehouse. The rest, obviously, as you can see from the pictures, they've got all their equipment. So you can obviously span that site coverage, which will expand the actual net lettable area for the property, and you can get more rent from it. So the property is only 16 kilometres from Brisbane CBD, so it's a decent area. Brisbane CBD is not far along the river. So it's 1,800 square metres, fully recently refurbished with the office and the actual warehouse. Got street access as well, and a decent national tenant, so Queensland Access, who will supply equipment, and has a net income of $500,000 a year, and the tenant's paying for all the outgoing. So $500,000 is net. The tenant's paying for all the upkeep of the property, which is a really good thing. So all that $500,000 you're using to pay down your debt, and the rest is just cash flow. So let's go look at the calculator to see what sort of passive income this property is going to be generating. So if we look at our cash flow calculator, the purchase price of $3.9 million using a 30% deposit, and that net income of $500,000. Our loan is going to be $5.5 million using a 6.5% interest rate. So you're going to be left with $360,000 a year in mortgage repayments. But our income is $500,000 and mortgage repayments are going to be $360,000. So we're left with $140,000 a year in passive income just from this one warehouse. Now, if you look at our cash flow snapshot, it's not until the property gets to 10% interest rates does it become negatively geared. And obviously, the higher it gets, the more interest repayments you're going to be having to fork out of your own savings. So it can be pretty hard to hold on to these sorts of properties if you get high interest rates because you've got such a big loan. But if the interest rates start going down, say it's 3% interest rates, you're going to be positively geared $330,000 a year in passive income just from this one property. Because the rents are pretty strong, it's got a decent yield, you're going to be able to hold on to these properties if it goes up to 9% interest rates, and even if it goes down to 3%, you're going to have really strong cash flow that you can park away in case interest rates go up. If you look at our property pay down calculator using the same purchase price, same net yield, and using a 4% rental increase each year. So obviously in the first year, you're going to be cash flowing $140,000 a year. By year 5, it's going to be $274,000 a year. You're going to be generating passive income just from this one property. By year 10, you're going to be generating over $500,000 in passive income from this one property. By year 13, the property's paid off, and you're going to be generating over $800,000 a year from this one property. So by then, the yield on purchase is 10%, which is really good. You're going to be paying this property, you're going to be purchasing this property for almost $8 million. And in 14 years, it's debt-free, generating you $800,000 a year in passive income each year. Now let's go look at what sort of lifestyle can you actually live based on passive income from this one property. So for boiling a budget, I thought, why not go try and live the amazing London lifestyle? We're in one of the biggest cities in the whole world. And I found this really nice apartment right in the center of London, and it fits within our budget. So we're generating $140,000 a year in passive income from year 1 from this warehouse. And the property that I found rents out for $11,000 a month, which ends up being $135,000 a year. So it fits within our budget. So now let's go look at the property. So it's a penthouse in Westminster, right next to Buckingham Palace, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and it's a pretty nice furnished apartment. You got a really nice kitchen, dining area, nice huge bedroom with nice open light, amazing bathroom. You got your own little patio balcony area where you can see over all of London, and that's Hyde Park right there. So you're right next to the park. You've got amazing floor-to-ceiling windows in your bedroom with amazing views of London. You've got decent bathrooms, good view of the city, right down Hyde Park. That's all along the Thames there. A nice lounge room area. It's a really nice penthouse apartment right next to Buckingham Palace. So you can't get any better location in London. And it has 2 floors, so 7th and 8th floor with a lift. You've got air conditioning, which is what you need in the summer in London. It's not far from Buckingham Palace, Green Park, St James's Park, the Underground as well. And if you look at the location, it's like right next to Hyde Park. It's right in the middle of Westminster, not far from London. So in best location, right next to the Thames as well. So, and this property is for $2,600 a week, $11,000 a month, and it completely fits within our budget of $140,000 a year in passive income that's going to be generated from this one property. So this warehouse that I found generates $500,000 a year in net income, which you paying down the loan, you're left with $140,000. In 10 years, in 14 years, the debt's completely paid off and it's generating $800,000 a year in passive income. You can't, I don't even know what you can spend $800,000 a year on. Being able to live in these sorts of apartments in the city of London, you can fly anywhere in Europe within 2-3 hours, and it's all funded just by one warehouse. Now, obviously, there's a lot of upfront cost to actually purchase the property. You need a big deposit, but this is the sort of lifestyle, this is the sort of freedom that commercial property can allow you to fund. You don't need 10 plus properties to live this sort of lifestyle. If you find one good commercial property, there's a decent property, decent location, decent tenant, you can live whatever sort of lifestyle and it can fund whatever freedom that you want to live. So that's the London lifestyle, completely funded by a Brisbane warehouse. Now, if you like these sorts of videos, go watch my last video where I show how commercial property can completely pay for a $6 million apartment in New York. So go watch that video next, and don't forget to subscribe so don't miss out.